Going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Content. Joining us today is the lovely Renee, and it looks like you have a special guest with you.
I do. This is Ozzy. He's hanging. He's like not look at him. He's like, I'm not looking at the camera. I can't look at the camera. He's like being super. Yeah, this is Ozzy.
Nice. And I just want to give a shout out. I believe this is the first time I'm using the glass from Steph and Matt's wedding that I got as a present when I was about 12. So,
yeah. Well, because now you're all legal and stuff, and you can.
I know, right? When I got the present at the time, I didn't think, I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Well, it's going in good use now. So thank you, Steph and Matt.
Well, I want to talk about my glass too. I've got my glass going on. I don't know if you can. Can you see that? It says Lady Legend.
Lady Legend. Ooh, I like it.
Well, that's a little homage, a little shout out to my girl Holly Kitchens, who just went live today with her coming out party. I guess that she's back in the real estate game, doing some commercial real estate. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have some cocktails tonight. It's gonna be in my Lady Legends class. If you don't know about Lady Legends, you should. Holly has an awesome boutique, and you can shop and get like I have the cutest pair of jeans from her. Like everybody makes a comment about those jeans. So yeah, you should get on there. Sorry, shameless plug for Holly.
No, that's fine. I think I asked John Kitchens the last 2 times, like, where'd you get that shirt from? He's like, I don't know. Holly got it. So she knows what she's doing.
She does. That's awesome.
So anyways, as you guys know, Cocktails and Content, what we do, it's real estate's first and only content and drinking game. And you're going to hear more from us right after this.
They told us not to go live, drink, and give away our trade secrets, so we decided to do all of it. Welcome to Cocktails and Content, powered by Content Cardz. That's ContentCards.com, an easier way to sell homes.
All right, Renee. So this is how the game goes for everybody who's tuning in for their first time, and Renee joining us here. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask 4 questions, and there's going to be a secret 5th question if we have to get to it. You're going to see we have a scoreboard here at the bottom. If you get the question right, I have to drink. If you get it wrong, you have to drink. Yep, that's right. So that's how we're going to play it here, and then we're just going to go after that. So are you ready? You got all the rules down? I know it could be pretty complicated.
I got it. I just have one question. Okay, you just answered it for me because you just took a drink before you asked the question, so I'm good now. No more questions.
No more questions? That answered? That's fantastic. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, so according to Opt-in Monster, video marketers receive how much more qualified leads per year? So how many more qualified leads do people get who are using video marketing? Would it be A, 51% more leads, B, 66% more leads, C, 72% more leads, or D, 84% more leads?
I'm going to go with B, 66% more leads.
B, is that your final answer?
It is my final answer.
Renee is up 1-0. Congratulations.
Awesome.
So 66% more leads. Let's talk about that for a second. So people who are using more video marketing are getting more qualified leads. What do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I think people just naturally are going to see people and hear people, and they just can't help but click that little gray triangle in the center of something and hit play, right? They got to stop scrolling when they see movement. So I think that's what that's about.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And then on top of that too, I feel like there's that trust factor, that humanizing factor. When they see somebody in video, they know you're a real person. You're not just some generic ad that's going out. You're a real person in their community, and they can get to know you a little bit more.
Agreed.
All right. So you're up 1-0. I'm not liking this right now, but it's all right. Team Nick will make a comeback here soon. Let's go to question 2. So according to Animoto, what percentage of social media users say they've been influenced by a social media brand presence when buying? A, 12%, B, 43%, C, 58%, or D, 73%?
Ooh. Wow. I'm going to go with C on that one.
58%. And it is actually D, 73% of users.
I'm so mad that I have to drink.
I know it's really a tough challenge, isn't it? I feel like it's a win-win. But 73, literally 73. So 3 out of 4 people say they're affected by somebody's online social media presence, right? Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I bought off Facebook, guilty, just because you keep seeing the ads pop up. You keep seeing different things pop up, especially when it's one of those marketers like, hey, you want to teach me how I got you here? It's like, yeah, I actually do want to know how you did that. But it's like everybody gets got. But that's the thing, though, like buying off of social media, that's a big thing. Let me ask you this, Renee, have you ever bought off of Facebook?
I have. And I've gotten in the abyss where I just couldn't help but like click on it. And next thing you know, they're like, they cooking me and pixel me, and they're all over. Every time I turn around, they like pop up. I'm like waiting for them to show up in the backseat of my car at some point.
Right.
They're everywhere.
Well, and that's where that presence comes into play, because it's almost that third-party recognition. You could go to their website and check them out, but once you see them on social media, you see how many people are following them in their videos. You're like, oh, a lot of other people like them. I think I'm going to like them too.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Let's get into question 3. And right now it is 1-1 I'd like to add. So according to HubSpot, what percentage of consumers want to see more video from their brands? They want to see more video. A, 54%, B, 69%, C, 73%, or D, 85%?
Based on the last question you asked, I'm going to go with D.
You're going to go with D, 85%. And the answer is A, 54%.
Because they're already consuming that content. They're like, I'm already getting their videos.
They're already getting enough videos. Well, cheers, Renee. I'll take that scoreboard up 2-1. I believe I'm up on the year. I'm up 2-1 on everybody. Al was not too happy about that. Shout out Al for my last victory. But with that being said, yeah, so half of the people out there want to see more video from their brands, right? So let me ask you this. What are you doing currently to give your people more video?
So we do a weekly, just a short little video. I have 2 particular communities that I focus on in my business. So every other week we do one in that particular community. So one week we do it in one community. We do a What's Up Wednesday. I typically pop up in a local business somewhere. Yeah. And we do a quick little spot on that business, and then right after we go into a market update for that particular community. And we tend to get a lot of engagement, with that kind of stuff. And we even this last one we showed up at a local pet store that had just opened not too long ago, and like always, you go to shoot somewhere and everything's like nice and quiet until you go to shoot, and then everybody and their brother shows up. Barking. So the door kept chiming every time somebody came in, right? So I just said, hey guys, if you're going to check out this video, why don't you go ahead and put in the comments how many times you hear the door chime.
We can make it a drinking game. Every time you hear the door chime, you drink.
Well, we did a contest. We said, hey, whoever can tell us the number of times that the door chimed and get it right, we'll send them a gift card to that pet store or whatever. Really? So yeah, it was cool. So we had a bunch of people going, it done like 6 times. No, it was 8. No, it was 9. So, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and I think that's really great too. A couple things that you're doing. Number one, just getting out there in the community, like going out there to the neighborhoods that you want to take over and actually shooting your videos there. I mean, I'll tell you what, if I see a house down the street from me and there's a video being shot, I'm probably going to watch just to see if you're going to go by my house or go somewhere by I know, right? And then on top of that too, just getting the engagement on your posts as well. Yep. Just getting the engagement on your posts as well, like the chime, and every time you do that, I really like that idea, by the way. But with that being said, let's get on to question 4. So this is the winner take all at this point. So according to Forbes, I know. You want to phone a friend? Do you want to phone a friend?
I think I'm good.
You're good? Okay. I don't think that was anyways. Okay, so here we go. According to Forbes, how many users spend more time on a website with video? Would it be A, 23%, B, 48%, C, 62%, or D, 88%?
I think they stay on C, 62%.
62. And it is actually D, 88%. That one, dang it, you have to drink it. That really blew my mind, though. 88% of people stay longer on a website with video. So that's pretty much 9 out of 10 people are going to stay longer on your website if you have video. And if not, you're losing 90% of the people who are browsing online.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think that's amazing.
Well, and that comes back to, I believe you have some video on your website there.
We do.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of video on our website. We have video of the areas in that which we service. We have video from Agents Act. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just being able to, you never know what's going to resonate with people. So, you know, they might be on your site for one reason, and then they see that you've got other stuff on there, and they're like, whoa, 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 what's this Agents Act thing about? And, you know, so.
That actually just happened the other day too. I was on the phone with somebody, and then they brought it up right away. Like tell me about Agents Act. I want to know more about this. And what were they doing? They browsed to my website. They went to some of the podcasts, and they scroll down and they go to Agents Act, and that's what the video is at. But,
I love it.
And I think a lot of times too, what we tend to do is not really put ourselves in the consumer's shoes, right? Because we think like, oh, this might be a cool or nifty gadget. We keep adding more and more and more to different websites. But in reality, it just makes it more confusing. At the end of the day, when I'm online and I go on social media, I go on there because I'm bored and I just want to scroll through the next video and make it as easy as possible, right? So like if you just have some videos and just a couple links to click on, that's really what I'm looking for.
Totally get it. So you asked earlier about, you know, have you ever purchased something from Facebook or online or whatever? And and there's so many times where you go and you click, like, ladies, you know, you go on there and every cute outfit known to man shows up in your feed, and you're like, how do they know? Right. Well, and then you click on it. Next thing you know, this little pop up for the little spinny wheel comes on, and then there's another drop down that floats by, and they're like, click this, you get an extra 10% off. And like, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, I'm out.
Right.
I'm out.
It's like too much happening at once. Yeah.
If they would just kept it simple, I would have stayed on and be like, yep, that's still cute. Yep, I still want to buy it. But instead they overcomplicate it, and then I'm out. So yeah, absolutely. The simpler, the better.
Yep. So Renee, let me ask you this. What is on your radar right now? Tell me a next video that you guys are planning on shooting.
That's a really, really great question. So we just recently shot a bunch of video for our, so in real estate, we have a closing process. So we just shot a bunch of video on our closing process. So like whenever we put somebody under contract, you know, we shoot a quick video saying, hey, welcome to the team. We're putting faces to the names. And that goes out to our co-broke, that goes out to our title company, that goes out to our mortgage company. So they get an introduction to the team. They get to see us and know that we're real people. Like in real estate, how many times can you do a transaction and you have no idea who you're doing business with? Like you can maybe look on the MLS and maybe they might have a picture up there, but half of them don't.
From 10 years ago.
Right. Exactly. It's their glamour shot from 1984.
Right.
So yeah, we recently did a series of videos on that, so that you know, and what we realized was that through our closing process, the emails that we were sending out that would answer all the questions, and this is what comes next, and whatever, the open and the read rate went right. So what used to work and prevent people from calling us and asking us all the common questions, it stopped working. And I'm like, why am I getting these phone calls? And it's because they, you know, just email is just not the way anymore, right? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of a lot to put in a text message. Like, what do we do? And it's like, boom, obvious, shoot video. And now, you know, we get the video in front of them. They can't help but click on the goofy, you know, and every time you put the thumbnail comes up, you're always like, like it's the weirdest picture that ever shows up on a thumbnail.
It always is. It always shows the word, like especially for this video too. It's probably like right now when we're going like this.
I know, right? So, and then, you know, my assistant, she's like, Renee, do you want me to change the thumbnail? And I'm like, actually, I don't. I know it's the goofiest face ever. I'm like, but they're gonna click on it because it's that goofy looking. So
I'll be like, I need to know what Renee's doing right now.
Right. She looks like she's dying. I don't know what's happening. So we got that going on, and then basically we're going to continue with the What's Up Wednesdays for consistency and keep pushing that out, and doing community videos. And then we really wanted to dive more into, like you said, we don't shoot with the consumer in mind. Like we just assume they know things, right? and we skip all this information that is so tangible for them. So I think we want to go back to getting back to the basics and shooting video that, you know, just allows people to get to understand the process and makes it not so scary and overwhelming. So they do feel comfortable talking to us.
Yeah. Or feeling like, like you said, they can talk to you. You can speak in a language that they understand. if I'm using big words, and I've done it before when I'm in a room and I'm sitting there nodding my head and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Right. And so many times in real estate, it's like, we can sit here and we could talk real estate and we could talk market absorption and different market, like different rates. But the average person doesn't know that. They don't know what the hell that we're talking about when we say that. So what we have to do is take those statistics and say, this is what it means for you. Right. Like, I think the one video I really liked when Al did that, he was talking about the inventory this year versus last year. And that's what most people would do. Then he took it a step further. Like, this is what it means for you. If you're a home buyer right now, and then if you're a home seller right now, this is what it means. So breaking it down into a language that they can understand, that's so key. Because like you said, if I feel like I don't connect with you and you can't speak in a way that I can understand you, I'm probably not going to reach out.
Exactly. I remember, I specifically remember sitting in a room when somebody talked about absorption rate. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, like absorption, like that was like, I just remember the commercial for, what was it, Brownie paper towels and the absorption. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Right?
Right. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
And then you just had to like put it in language that people understand. And just obviously I have sailor language. I'm married to a sailor, like legitimately. So every once in a while some colorful language slips out. And it's been a struggle for me to keep the colorful language in my mouth and not in my video. But sometimes it comes out. And I think, those are the people I want to work with. Those are the people that will drop a curse word every once in a while. Like, you're my people.
Right. Well, and I don't know. Do you remember my blooper reels? Do you ever watch any of those?
I have.
Yeah. The first 3, I didn't bleep anything out. And then I got a lot of some feet, like it was mainly from like family members. Like, all right, listen, you're either going to have to stop friending me or you're going to have to bleep it out. So I'm like, okay, I understand that. But those are some of my favorite videos because at the end of every video, I'm cussing every time. If I don't get it right, I'm like, shit. And I'm trying to restart and go back and redo it. Right. And that's just what you do. And I love doing the bloopers. And I think I'm actually going to bring them back. I have like a year's worth of blooper reels right now because I haven't been doing it. I think I'm going to bring it back. Just because, I mean, a lot of times people see when you go live, obviously there's no chance to do blooper reels. And I think that's why it's more fun because you can mess up and you just roll with it. But with videos that are already kind of edited, like a lot of times people are like, oh, you're just a natural with it. Like, listen, it took me 10 takes sometimes to get some of these videos done. Like it doesn't happen that easily for everybody, for almost anybody.
I remember the first live video I ever shot. Like, first of all, I'm shooting and like, I'm like the consumer is seeing me completely on my side. And then it's the phone, the camera's shaking so much that it literally looks like I'm shooting on my side in an earthquake in a horrible storm. And it was the worst freaking video ever. And I'm like, oh my God. But then you turn off that camera and you're done and you're like,
woo, I'm a badass.
Like, and then you watch it and you're like,
yeah.
Oh my God. And then now it's like, it's so, I don't know. I don't want to say.
Now we're drinking wine and having a good time on a live.
I know, right? And my dog's like coughing in the background and then decides he wants to be Cujo. And I'm like, whatever.
Well, I remember my first time I went live by myself, right? Because before that, what helps me a lot, like we can sit here, Renee, we can sit here and we can talk for hours, right? Like that's easy. But when I went live by myself, it was about the community champ. I wrote a whole book on this for Pete's sake. But I went live and all of a sudden I got through like a first 30 seconds and I'm like, holy shit. I didn't have any notes and I didn't have any like templates like I do now. But I'm like, I don't know what to say. And all of a sudden it's like, if I'm not saying anything, it's just dead silent. And it was a little bit scary. I'm not going to lie. And then all of a sudden I start sweating. I'm like, I really don't know what to say at this point, just because when you're by yourself, it's a whole nother world, right? Like going live by yourself, if you don't have your notes or you don't know what you're going to talk about, it can be a little bit discouraging.
Completely. When we do our What's Up Wednesdays, like when I first started like going through the market stats, I'm like, no, I got this. Like I know what my market stats are in my neighborhoods, right? And then like all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, your brain goes, and you're so worried about. I'm like, do I have a hair in my face? Like, why do I have 3 chins? Like, what's happening? All of your stats just kind of disappear, and then you're stuck there like staring at the camera going, I suck, right? So I don't care how well I know those stats. Everybody on my What's Up Wednesdays will see a notepad in my hand, and I am constantly looking down and looking up, and I don't care because I want them to know that my content is legit and those are actual numbers and I'm not freaking winning it, right? So
Well, and I think that's one of the things too. The more that I'm trying to remember something and I have to keep talking, I'm talking it all the way into left field, and there's no way I'm going to go back and remember exactly what I'm talking about. So if anything, I'm just chasing a rabbit at that point, hoping I'm going to remember it. And it's just never going to happen.
I've never done that.
Never at all. Renee's a pro over here. Straight pro.
Super
All right,
easy.
Renee. It has been fun, especially since I won. You know, I always like that as well. You know, you did your best. You came on here. You drank well. Very admirable. I'll cheers you to that.
Cheers, my friend.
Do you have any closing remarks for us here?
Do video, no matter how scared you are. And if you end up on your side or the phone is shaking like you're in an earthquake, that means you're freaking doing it right, because you're actually doing it right.
Right.
And that's it. That's all you need to worry about. And then if you're so afraid that you don't even want to do it, send me a text or an email or a snap or a whatever form of media you want to get a hold of me on.
Right.
And say, Renee, can you send me your first set of videos? And I will send them to you. And you can recognize that you're like, oh my God, I will absolutely do better than her when I do my first video. You feel totally awesome about yourself.
Well, and I realized too, I wish I would have known this getting into it. If you're scared to go live at first, especially, flip the camera around so like you're walking around a house, right? So that way you're not in it. You can talk through and you can kind of get the feel for what a live is. So that way when you have to flip the camera back right at you, it might be a little bit easier. So like I said, that might have been a little bit easier for people starting out.
Awesome tip. And then I've actually told, people that I talk to and coach and whatnot, like on my team and in my organization, that, you know what, there's a little tab you can hit in Facebook that says only me.
Yeah.
So that when you go live, you can actually set it to where it only shows to you and it only shows up in your own feed. Right. So that you can kind of just start going live and getting used to the flipping camera in your face. Right. And then, but what you have to remember is that when you actually want to go live where everybody actually sees you, you got to change that setting.
Right. Why am I getting one view every single time?
Right. You're doing like this killer ass video and you're like, I nailed it. And you're like, crap. It only showed to me. So you got to flip that setting. But yeah, it's all good practice or whatever. Or you can just set it to just me, or take a video and send it to me or send it to you. And we'll just be like, cool, it's awesome. Good.
Badass.
Get it on there. Yeah.
And on top of that too, I realized, so when I had to shoot this webinar, the webinar took probably it was like a 40-minute webinar, right? So for the first, when I didn't actually just go live and just say, screw it, I'm going to do it, I would get through about a minute of a 40-minute webinar and be like, mess up, be like, oh, I got to go back. I'll be like, oh, I got to go back. And then you're trying to chase perfection, but you got to record it, right? And it's just not going to happen. That's why a lot of times just going through the first time, messing up a little bit, going live, that's when usually we're just like, okay, we got to push through this no matter what.
Absolutely. Like the people that do the webinars and whatever, and they do the screen shares and they do all that stuff. Like, I'm not at that level yet. Like if you ask me to do a screen share, I'm like, I know there's a little button that says screen share, but for some reason it like intimidates me. I'm like, I'm going to hit screen share and nothing's going to happen. And then I'm going to be like,
everything's going to happen.
The wrong screen's going to show up. Like, but I'm going to get there. With your help, I'm going to get there.
Oh, of course we will. Well, Renee, always a pleasure. I'm going to come by and pick up my present here later. Not this week, the week after.
Yes.
So
it's
been what, September?
Yeah, it's been a minute since, and we definitely owe somebody a thank you for these gifts. So that person will remain nameless at the moment. But you don't know is that we're trip buddies. Like we live within like 10 minutes of each other, and we only see each other when we're either live together like this or out of state. We're out of state. So I'm like, I tell everybody, I'm like, Nick Crum is the most expensive friend I have, because I have to travel to other states.
That's so true. we live 10 minutes apart, 20 minutes apart, maybe. But I think it's been a solid 2 years. I've only seen you really out of state or at an event around. Yeah.
But I still love you. It's all good.
I still love you too. I'll see you soon. You know what? We're going to change that.
It's going to be amazing.
That before, but we're going to make it happen this time.
It's happened in 2020. We are making that happen.
2020, big changes, big trust, big trust. All right, Renee, always a pleasure. And we'll see everybody here next time.
Thank you so much.
They told us not to go live, drink, and give away our trade secrets, so we decided to do all of it. Welcome to Cocktails and Content, powered by Content Cardz. That's contentcards with the Z.com, an easier way to sell homes.